This is a Seattle Music Insider, Seattle Music Examiner, talking to Marty Riemer, a local radio legend. Most recently left KMTT The Mountain. Marty, we miss you on the station, obviously.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
What do you want to say to your fans that you didn't, get an opportunity to say before you left?
I am completely and utterly overwhelmed by the support that they've shown since our departure. No, I'm completely overwhelmed by the support that they've shown. And I think a lot of that credit has to go to Facebook and just the social networking sites, because it wasn't just a couple of years ago a radio station would fire you on Friday after your show, which is how it happened to us, and you were never heard from them again. And you have this intimate relationship with listeners, especially when you're doing a morning show, because you're in bed with them, you're waking up with them, you're with them during these real quiet hours of the morning. So they develop this bond, and then all of a sudden a radio company just yanks you away without any explanation.
Yeah.
And so this time it was different, because this time people were able to find us on Facebook and connect and tell us how they felt about it. I always say it's a little bit like I was able to witness my own funeral, because you don't get that kind of outpouring unless you're dead.
No, it's very emotional.
And I'm still alive.
I mean, it's very emotional, very personal. I mean, you're right. You have a relationship, and there's people like me who've listened to the station since I moved up from LA since '98, and you're in that person's car. You're in their home every day, and
I was actually literally in your car.
Right, you were in my car, and but it's funny because run into you at a Mariners game. But you have a relationship with the community, and then suddenly, you're not there.
It's harsh.
It hurts.
It's harsh.
It
and
hurts,
all the power used to be in the radio company's hands.
Right.
And now I would imagine they're rethinking, because it was the company, it was management that motivated us to start up Facebook pages and MySpace pages and do the social networking, because it was a great way of marketing a show.
Right.
And now I bet you they question that decision, because it does give us it gives us some legs after they pull out. And it wasn't like a couple of weeks after we got fired, we decided to conduct a little experiment, and we took our severance checks and we threw a severance party, kind of a listener appreciation party,
that's cool.
down at Elliott's on the Seattle waterfront. 500 people showed up with nothing but it being promoted on Facebook.
Well, you think the power of the social, like you said, I mean, you nailed it. It does give the power back to the people.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. And it allows people to kind of have some closure, if there's any such thing.
Yeah. Closure, I think, is what was always missing in those situations. And I got to tell you, in the radio business, active listeners are always thought of as being a little freakish, because they show up at everything. And mountain listeners were entirely different. They were smart, they were funny, they were people that we really enjoyed hanging out with, and to have those people torn away from us was what was really painful. So we still have that connection, but I mean, in all fairness, only a small fraction of our audience is active on Facebook. So, I mean, there's probably still 80% of our audience or 90% of our audience that has no idea what happened to us, no idea where we went. And that's sad, so hopefully we'll make a comeback someday.
Yeah, I think so. Speaking of which, now you're on the Menage this morning. How does that feel?
It's fun to be back on radio. Yeah, I don't miss the getting up early.
Right.
That I could do without. Although there is something about getting up early that puts discipline back in your life. So, like, I came home and, by gosh, I brought the household down. I said,
well, what do you think? I mean, are you going to be a regular on the Menage?
I'm guessing they're going to fire me after 2 visits.
They are.
Yeah. So, which, still will make it my 4th longest radio job after 2 airings. We are, we're producing our own, what we're doing to bide our time until we get another radio show. And by we, I mean myself and Jody Brothers, because we're kind of committed to staying together.
Okay.
My wife, but Jody I'm bonded with. In the meantime, what we've decided to do is produce this funny festival, so our own independent comedy festival, January 15th at the Paramount Theater. So, and this is a big deal for us, because, I mean, it's exactly what we used to do. We would hand-pick the comedians, we'd put them together on a bill, and except now we don't have Big Daddy looking over our shoulder. So ticket prices are lower, but there's also a lot more risk for us.
Now, do you have a website, something to promote this?
Yeah, MartyRiemer.com, and it's RIEMER.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think we may have to do a story on that.
Yeah, oh, it's really kind of fun because we're trying to do this real guerrilla approach to marketing it. Are we on the air soon? I know that. Yeah.
Have you been negotiating with other stations around the area? Or
Well,
anywhere else?
the crazy thing about radio is that there are. It's not like most industries where you can have an opening sitting there waiting for someone to fill it. I mean, radio always has to have something in place.
Right.
And so it's not like as soon as we got fired, there were 3 companies going, we have openings for you. So something has to change, something has to shift. Plus, we have a certain credibility that we've built up over the years with our listeners, and it's not like I'm going to go do a morning show at a country station.
Right.
So I just can't. I couldn't see myself doing it. So we're willing to be patient, put on this comedy show on the 15th of January, and wait for the right opportunity to come along. But we're eager to get back.
Have you considered podcasting on a regular basis?
Yeah, we've talked to a lot of people about that. And we may eventually go down that route. What I'd actually prefer to do is some kind of literally an internet broadcast that people can stream rather than download. But then you get involved with the licensing and the rights and things like that. But we're trying to sort all that out.
Well, Marty, you got 10 minutes till showtime, so I'm going to let you get back to it. Have a great show today.
All right, thanks.
And
Thanks
it's
for
great
coming
to
in.
see you on the Menage.
All right.
Thanks.
Miss you guys. See ya.